All right, in this video, we're going to answer the question, what is prompt engineering? So we can ask this question to Google Bard and to ChatGPT. And we'll just start by simply typing in that question, what is prompt engineering? So just a few things to highlight here. It's a technique used to improve the performance of large language models. So Google Bard is an example of a large language model. ChatGPT is an example of a large language model. And they are short pieces of text that are given to these tools to help them understand what they're supposed to do. This says that it's a new field. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. There's some general principles, and it highlights three here. One, they should be clear and concise. Secondly, they should be specific. And third, they should be creative. That's kind of an interesting way. I don't know that there is a requirement that the prompt be creative, but it does, of course, raise the question of why do we want to use a prompt? And certainly, if you're watching these videos, you're probably interested in actually achieving some sort of worthwhile result from a prompt. So here's some examples. The first three are all instructional prompts. Write a poem, translate the sentence, write a short story, and then the fourth one is an informational question. So this is an important point that we'll come back to in other videos, that really these prompts fall into two broad categories. The first one are instructional prompts, which typically will begin with a verb, a command, and the second broad category of prompts are those which begin with a question word, an interrogative pronoun to be precise, such as what or who or why. All right, so there's Google Bard's definition of prompt engineering. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. What is prompt engineering? So it's the process of designing or crafting effective prompts for a language model like ChatGPT. Input instructions need to be carefully constructed. And so basically, the better you are at crafting a prompt, the better you can get useful output. The third paragraph here suggests that experimentation is helpful, iterating is helpful, and this is interesting. It's worth noting that prompt engineering is an ongoing process, as models like ChatGPT do not possess inherent understanding or intent. Their responses are generated based on statistical patterns learned from the training data, and prompt engineering helps to steer the model's behavior within those learned patterns. So I'm sure there's a lot more to this than I understand, but part of what's going on there is you'll notice that in both ChatGPT and in Google Bard, there's always these good response, bad response icons. So that's part of how the model continues to be refined, how the tool continues to be refined, is by the feedback that it is given. So just to follow up on what ChatGPT was suggesting in its answer about iteration. So let's ask a couple of other questions. So what is a prompt? All right. So a prompt is basically anything that I would type in to ChatGPT or Google Bard. It's an input instruction or query. It provides a context or stimulus. I think that's a helpful distinction. So that we'll learn in a later lesson about the power of providing context. This is helpful. A prompt can be a single sentence, such as what I just typed there. What is a prompt? It can be a paragraph. It can be a series of questions or statements. All right, so there's some points there. Let's try Google Bard. What is a prompt? All right, a short piece of text used to give instructions or guidance to a computer program. All right, so it's a powerful tool. And then, of course, it's coming back to the topic of prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is a process of designing effective prompts for large language models. This is a challenging task, which is why I'm creating a video about it, a series of videos, as the best prompts will vary depending on the specific task and the LLM that is being used. All right, let's ask one more question. What is engineering? What is engineering? Because prompt engineering has, it's a composite term, right? Okay, so engineering is a broad field that encompasses the application of scientific principles to design and build structures, machines, and systems. Plays an important, so it gives examples: civil, mechanical, electrical. So the idea here is that you're applying some scientific principles to achieve a worthwhile result. That's what this course is about. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. What is engineering? Okay, again, it's talking about application of scientific, mathematical, and technical knowledge to design and create, using your knowledge skills to solve practical problems, to innovate and develop solutions. It's a lot of stuff that is going into more detail than we really need, but the point is that our goal in this course is to generate, to use prompts, to engineer them to achieve useful results.